You have any goals for 2025? Like any New Year's resolution? Because this is dropping on New Year's Eve, you know. Any New Year's resolutions?
I haven't thought of it. I really haven't.
I only got
6.
2.
What are they? Let me know.
The first one is
Are we allowed to tell? Are they secrets?
Yeah, no.
You sure?
I'm gonna be more present. I'm gonna try to be more present because I'm the worst at that.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm always thinking of something that's gonna happen or something that happened. I can never be like here, right now. Even like, this is gonna sound cocky, but I think I'm disciplined to a fault. Like I take my training and everything so serious. Like I get uncomfortable when I can't do my shit exactly how I want to do it for my fitness, and that's not healthy.
No, because the growth is when things don't work out and you have to figure them out.
Yeah, and that's just my training is getting in the way of so much shit, and I know I need to tone it down. And I also have been doing it for so long that I know like with food, for example, if I don't eat at one time, it's still the total for the day that usually matters. It's not going to kill you if you miss a meal, but it's still in my head. I think about it, and that's not me being present.
That's not, you're right. That's
taking
not
me
healthy.
out of me, or even like going out or something, and like I always think about, I'm going to run tomorrow. How can I need to stop drinking right now because I have a run tomorrow. There was a moment a couple of years ago that I cleared my schedule. I made sure I had my training done on a Saturday. I made sure I have nothing on Sunday. And I was with my friends. We were drinking. And I was there and having fun. But instead of having fun, like 2-3 beers in, I was like started to think like, yeah, but if I'm hungover tomorrow, probably the Monday work, I won't be that good. And I like starting to cut off drinking. So
right.
I think I'm too much in my head like that. I can't really appreciate the moments that are right in front of me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one thing
Rigid.
I need to work on. Yeah.
Sorry, that's the word. Like
Yeah.
you're just like, no, this.
Yeah. And that's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's just like training is probably the healthiest thing you can do, but it comes to that, it takes away from your mental, which is not good.
No, it's just balance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that's one thing I need to work on. I read this book, The Power Now, which is all he talks about, like be in the moment, feel your presence, don't think about the past, don't think about the future. Because if you think about it, whenever are you really right there? When don't you think about something you need to do or something you had to?
When you're not trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you catch yourself, and then you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
and then and then you're in.
And what that lasts for like a minute.
Yeah. Well, maybe longer until you catch yourself, right?
Yeah.
And usually when you're in the moment, you're kind of spacing a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
So
Then you get out. Like when you sometimes you like get stuck on something and you stare at it, and it feels like you're going like this, and then you're like not thinking about anything, you're just blank. But it happens for like 30 seconds, and then you're back into the race. But you had a good point when we were talking about this, actually. You said like, because I was talking about people in the past that were so present and stuff. You said like, yeah, but think about how much information we have now. Like, think about all the impressions we have all the time from like phones, from TV, from like what's going on in the world. We constantly know what the world is doing. So our minds is being bombarded.
Yeah, it's.
So I think like because I was reading this book and they were talking a lot about monks living like in some temple up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it's like their day is the same every day. So it's not that hard to think away what I did yesterday.
Yeah,
because it was the same that I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they can kind of like zone into that.
Well, that's the thing with all the that's what I was trying to. Yeah, I know. I remember what we were talking about now. It's like all the distractions. I was saying, if you think about it, it's almost like you're a clean slate when you're a kid, and then you got to watch what your kids take in. But it's on a bigger level where you're just getting bombarded with everything, and your bandwidth kind of gets full, and then. But if you're kind of just more not having these things interject into your life, you're like, I'm just going to be a farmer. Back in the day, they didn't have all the social medias, all the Instagram, all the stress of anything to certain points. They had issues and stuff, but I think they were clearer in the mind
Hmm.
for healthier things to think about and healthier things to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what generation. I'm quite sure there was issues either way, but you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's the hardest time right now to do it, especially if you want to live in society. Like you can run away and live in the mountains,
Right.
but then you got the issue of connection with people.
Well, family, right?
It's like
Yeah.
that movie Into the Wild, when he wrote in his diary, like this is cool now because he wanted to connect with nature. This is cool and all, but it really doesn't matter if you can't share the experience with someone.
I wasn't impressed with him.
Why?
I think he did it all wrong.
Really? Why? You got points? You got a couple of notes
No,
for
because
it?
there's a real community there that thinks he's like, and trust me, you know me.
Yeah, but you gotta explain. to me.
I gotta put it together. I can't just start blurting stuff out because I may get in trouble for that, and then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, well, so I don't know. Yeah,
No, but
a little uneducated the way he went about things on his end. I think.
Yeah.
because he probably would have still been alive.
True.
That's what I'm thinking about.
But in the journal they found, like the real journal he wrote, he said like, this is all,
I screwed
this is
up.
nice.
I screwed up.
Like I clear my head, but it really doesn't mean anything if you don't have connection and share with someone.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
It was more of I kind of saw someone that was, I kind of feel like I saw someone that was having the right intention to a certain point, but then it was more of making a statement, trying to be that person and not really doing the research and not really kind of thinking things through and then ending up in that situation.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Does that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's as nice as I'm going to put it. I'll leave it at that.
No, so
Next question.
No,
panel.
so that now, but that's all I mean. Like you can go into the woods by yourself, then you probably won't have all the noise in your head. But then again, you miss out on. If you want to live in the real world and still be present,
Yeah,
it's
but
probably the hardest time ever.
Yeah, but when you say miss out, now when you're feeling like you're missing out, are you saying about the missing out on the real things or missing out on the things that you become accustomed to? Like you walk to the grocery store, everything's right there, or you pick up your phone and there's Instagram, or do you mean missing out on your family or a close friend? Because those are the things that last, right? Everything else that you're kind of taking in, especially media-wise, which we all are addicted to, it's so fast. It's just like gone. Like, is that what you're missing out on? Because some people take that as missing out, or Starbucks,
Well,
you know?
I think when we take in, we think we forget about it. We go through like scrolling or whatever. We still take it in on some level. We store it somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's why we're so clouded.
Yeah. Because I remember when we went to Florida to visit family, I remember I was like, I'm not going to be connected, nothing, just going to be me and my kid, going to hang out for the 3 weeks. I'm not going to be on social media. I'm not going to be doing whatever, blah, blah, blah. The only thing I realized I missed was like Google Maps when you're out. You're like, shit, man. Like, cause I remember we used to print stuff up and then make a left on this.
Yes.
And it was like the Google Maps. So I kind of had to feel it out a little bit. Like I knew the area, so I could kind of wing it for X amount of weeks. But there was certain times I'm like, Google Maps, man. That's what I ended up. I didn't miss the other stuff after 2 days. I didn't really care about Instagram, all the other crap, connecting with whoever, because they knew the game was just me and the kids enjoying it. No TV, no nothing. We were just dialed into each other. Google Maps.
Yeah.
And if you laugh at me, fucking try it, because it's really hard. if you're running
it.
around to do stuff and you need to buy this and buy there, and you're somewhere where you're not. It's different if we live where we lived for X amount of time. You just know where everything is. But I mean, when you go somewhere else,
Yes.
Google Maps is probably the biggest game changer I learned in the past 20 years.
That's the big invention.
That's a keeper. The rest you can probably get rid
I
of.
also remember when you had to print it out and you had all the
Yeah,
papers.
you had to print it out, and it had an arrow going left and right, and
Yeah.
you used to read it to your friend driving, and you turn the radio down because you could see better.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, that's probably, and people probably don't think that.
No.
I guarantee that'd be the last thing they think they're going to miss,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that's it. But to disconnect, like you said, when you're off your phone and stuff, I heard a study about happiness, but it was about happiness, but this is not really about happiness. But they did a study on kids studying for math, and only having the phone in the room, present in the room, made their results go down. They did like some kids they didn't watch the phone or anything.
But
It was just there.
It was in their mind.
Yeah. The other kids didn't have the phone in the room and just studied, got better results.
Yes.
So even having the phone on the table when you're having a conversation with someone, you're not 100% present. Like the phone needs to be out of there for you to be 100% present. They even like did a study in a waiting room where the people that in one waiting room they didn't have phones and in the other they had phones. In the room where they didn't have phones, they smiled to each other like went out like 70% or something, like smiling to the next person.
Well, your head's not down, right?
Yeah. So you're smiling at people.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So the noise is very thick. But I don't think that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm going to be present, because I'm not. I think I just mean in my head for not thinking.
Oh, no, I don't think you meant like
the past
socially
and
or
the
on your
future.
phone. I think you meant just in your head. Yeah, I understood that.